Hey everybody, this is Austin Ward for Lettermen Row. This is Spencer Holbrook, you know him. This is Rapid Reaction brought to you by Buyers Auto, and we are in Indianapolis. Beautiful, rainy Indianapolis for the NFL Combine, and also covering the news while these Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes, are trying to get paid, working out. Well, back in Columbus, Ryan Day has got that new deal, 3-year extension. The exact amount of money for that deal, Spencer, is kind of to be determined. He can get a raise after the 2022 season. But that year, he'll make $7.6 million, which is the same amount that Urban Meyer made in 2018. And if that doesn't tell you how much confidence that the Buckeyes have in Ryan Day after year one, I'm not sure what would.
I think the back half of that extension is show, don't tell. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you're going to do.
Right.
So these next few years, he's going to get bumped up to Urban Meyer level money. And then, I mean, the sky is the limit, really, with the way that these coaches' salaries are going in modern age of college football. That could be anything. I'm not going to speculate on what that could be after the 2022 season, but to show Ryan Day that they have enough confidence in him to keep him at a salary that is up to Urban Meyer's level this early in his career. Urban Meyer, you pointed it out, was making $7.6 million with 3 national championships on his hand. Mm-hmm. Ryan Day will be making $7.6 million in year 4, so unless he wins...
he won't have 3 titles.
Unless he wins 2020 and 2021, he'll have 2 titles, and then we'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's just the confidence they have in Ryan Day was on full display today.
And this deal was interesting to me for a number of reasons, Spencer. You know, it's still a relative bargain right now. And Ryan Day was making $4.5 million in year 1. He's still going to have that through, I think, June. Not that Ohio State was trying to cut any corners, but this was a first-year unproven head coach. That was
another show me. Yeah,
moment. That was a bit of a market rate. Number 2. That's still probably going to be less than James Franklin. It's definitely less than Jim Harbaugh, guys who, haven't really even accomplished as much, at least for Jim Harbaugh's sake, as Ryan Day did in year 1, getting to the college football playoff and winning the Big Ten. And then the third part here, there's still room to add to the assistant coaching pool, make sure that Ohio State's not losing guys. Brian Hartline is probably in line for a major raise. It took, Kerry Combs is getting a massive raise to return to Ohio State. If you're going to continue to do that and keep guys like Larry Johnson and Tony Alford in the fold, you have to have some more room to work with. So Ohio State, again, step 3 there is continuing to show that commitment that they will not lose these resources, and they will devote enough money to keep them.
Yeah, they're going to just keep going as the market goes, I think. If the Clemsons and Alabamas and LSUs and Michigans of the world are willing to spend this X amount of dollars on a salary pool, Ohio State has to be able to match that, because that's just the going rate for what these coaches need. And to keep a guy like Brian Hartline, it's going to cost money. To keep Kerry Combs around for more than just 1 season, it's going to cost money. And I think cutting the cord, or however that ended with Mike Yurcich, getting that off the books, being able to distribute that money a little differently is going to help the Buckeyes tremendously. And I think it just adds to their staff. It didn't really hurt them.
Yeah, and I think the other part is people instantly look at this, and the full terms of this should be approved by Thursday, and we'll get a look at buyout money and things of that nature. I still think when you look at this, the fact that it's not the highest paid coach in the Big Ten, the fact that it's not maybe NFL money, means that this probably, that conversation is going to continue to exist. Ryan Day is always going to be coveted by NFL teams, and you've written about this and talked about it plenty, that he wants to bury those roots deep in Columbus and not leave. But at some point that's still going to be a conversation, because this isn't a contract that means he has to stay forever. It's not a lifetime deal.
No, it's not the coveted Jim Harbaugh lifetime deal, but it is going to be interesting moving forward. Every year he's going to have to shut down the rumors. He did a fantastic job of it in like week 5 or something this season by saying, no, I'm not going to the Washington Redskins. And it was pretty cut and dry. I'm not doing that. And so it kind of moved on. Now, as this contract keeps going forward and he keeps proving himself at Ohio State, I think those talks are just going to get louder. He's going to have to deflect those, a lot more than he did this year. I think you'll see him continue to take those measures as long as he's not thinking about it. And I think what he set the tone for the way he's going to handle those in year 1. If you ever see him just say, I'm not going to talk about it, that's going to be a tell, because I think he was very passionate about, I'm not taking that Redskins job. And I think you'll be able to see Ohio State fans that are watching this, if you hear him say, no, I'm not taking that job, that's not just lip service.
Yeah. He hasn't been lying much.
No, not really, not at all. Maybe a couple things here or there.
Yeah, but and the bottom line too is that Ohio State was proactive here, locking this up quickly. if you left him at $4.5 million for next year and into 2022, well, then that's a very different conversation if the Redskins are saying, here's $10 million, and then you lose that leverage. I think, and I wrote this at Lettermen Row, both of these sides bet on each other at the start of this career, and Ohio State gave him a significant amount of money to stay, and he passed up other jobs to stay, and he got a big raise because he bet he was correct on himself. He lived up to that end of the bargain. Both sides went to the table. Here's the deal. $7 million, $7.6 million in 2022 is nothing to sneeze at. He's going to live pretty comfortably.
It's really interesting, again, to me, that they get this deal done now because, like you said, they lose all the leverage if another team comes at them. Whereas if Ohio State now says, okay, you're going to be making $7.6 million, that's the going rate for this guy. And when he turned down the Mississippi State job a couple years ago, he got a raise.
Yeah.
This year, he turns down whatever NFL jobs might have even been a conversation
Shut down
with an
Washington
agent.
early.
Yeah, shut it down early, got a raise. So you might see it again. But Ohio State, Gene Smith, they've bet on Ryan Day since he got to Columbus, not just since he became the head coach. And now it's time to pay up. It's time to show him what he means to the program. And it's just going to keep getting more apparent what he does mean to the program moving forward.
And that's the interesting wrinkle to this contract is that we only know what that salary amount is agreed to through 2022. He agreed to a 3-year extension. He'll be there through 2026 if this deal continues on. The Board of Trustees can say, okay, well, here's your raise. You're at 7.6. There's room without them having to rip up the piece of paper and start over from scratch. He knows that there is built-in room for growth and another raise already in this deal.
Oh, and that 7.6 is, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If they make the college football playoff, there's another
bonuses, yeah.
$250,000, however much money there. So this is not like 7.6 and it's a hard 7.6. If they make the college football playoff and win the national championship in 2021, he's making way more than $6 million. He's going to be up near 7. The same thing in 2022, it'll be near 8. And I think that's what's going to dictate the rest of that contract through 2025 or 6, more than anything is you can show us how much you're worth by getting these incentives, and when you hit them, then we'll know what to pay you moving forward.
Yeah, we'll know. We'll get a better look to see if not only the buyout but the bonus structure for Ryan Day, if that changes at all. Once the paperwork is sealed, there's not going to be any question. The Board of Trustees is going to approve this deal tomorrow. The terms between Gene Smith and Ryan Day are already locked in place. Ohio State's got their coach for the foreseeable future, Ryan Day, not going anywhere. We've got a lot more coverage coming here. We'll talk about these Buckeyes that are in Indianapolis as the week goes on at the NFL Combine. We had to have a little rapid reaction brought to you by Buyers Auto with Ryan Day inking that new contract. Assistant's probably on the way. Stay tuned for that in about a week or so. He's Spencer Holbrook. I am Austin Ward coming to you live from Indianapolis. We will see you right back here on Rapid Reaction brought to you by Buyers Auto the rest of the week.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live. We've got the practice report. We got Rapid Reaction. Hey, and we got Buck IQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.